Everybody, I'm just about to finish my fourth of 4 night shifts. Wanted to just mention something about the consultants strike, which is happening right now. In every profession, and I don't know what industry you are, whoever's listening, is in, but if you work for your entire life and you become an expert in your field, you deserve to be paid well for that, especially if it is a really important job that is important for society. And whatever industry that is, you deserve a reasonably good pay. Here in the UK, nobody works in the NHS because they just want to make money. If I wanted to get paid well, I would go back to the United States. There's nothing stopping me. I could go back and make 4 times as much as I'm making here in the NHS, but I don't want to because I love the NHS. And there are a huge number of NHS consultants who feel the exact same way. They could go to Ireland, they could go to New Zealand, they could go elsewhere where pay is double or triple what they're earning here, quadruple sometimes, depending on where you go. And so a lot of people want to stay here, not earning nearly as much as they could abroad because they want to stay living here. They want to take care of patients in the NHS. They want to take care of patients throughout this country. And so when we look at how much Rishi Sunak makes, or Steve Barclay makes, or their friends that work in finance or in consulting or other things, we don't question how much they make at the top of their careers. We don't question how much MPs pull in annually. But for some reason, the pay for our consultants, which has dropped 35% in the last 15 years, somehow they're being greedy for this. No, these are people who are brilliant people who work their butts off, who have risen to a high level in their career, taking care of patients here, and they deserve to be compensated reasonably well. And they certainly don't deserve to have a 35% drop in their pay over the last 15 years. And so this is a fight for their pay, of course it is, and a fight for working conditions because this government's made it impossible to work in the NHS. But at the same time, it's also a fight for you, a fight for NHS patients. Because, look at what the situation has happened. We have a government that inherited the #1 ranked healthcare system on the planet 10 years ago. And it really was. It was ranked #1 globally. There was no other country on the planet that was delivering a better job of delivering higher quality healthcare for the prices that you guys had. The NHS is one of the most efficient systems in the world, and that's because it's a public system. That's because it's direct from taxation, and you don't have all of these middlemen of private health insurance like we do in the States, and you have far less waste. And so, 10 years ago, you guys had the best healthcare system on the planet, and you could see your GP in 24 to 48 hours. When you went into A&E, you'd be seen in under 4 hours. You could get your cancer referral in under 2 weeks. Now, people are waiting here for over 15 hours in A&E. Your cancer referral is taking months. You can't see your GP for a couple of weeks. We are a wealthy country with a great history of delivering high-quality healthcare, and this government has failed completely. They inherited the #1 healthcare system on the planet 10 years ago, and now look what they've done to it. We have the longest waiting list in NHS history. It's 7.6 million people long. That's simply unacceptable. And people are waiting longer than ever before for care, and they are holding you hostage because they want to push you into private healthcare. They want to make sure that you get a private GP. They want you to go to a private hospital because they think, that's going to expand the economy. That's going to be good for economic growth. While at the same time, people are suffering at home on these longest waiting lists, and people can't afford a private healthcare. It's way too expensive. And so we have a two-tier system that is developed now. One for working people waiting on the longest waiting list in NHS history, and then another rapid world-class care that wealthy people can access when they go private. And I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable, and we should not say that that's okay. And so, today on the second day of the consultant strike, please support them. They are fighting. They're fighting a worthy cause. They should be paid reasonably well. They should not have seen a 35% cut in their pay in the last 15 years. They are leaving in record numbers because it's far too difficult to work here. And same with juniors. And it's all part of the same fight as the nurses, as porters, as cleaners, as allied health professionals, as radiographers, as the ambulance staff. All of this is part of NHS staff are screaming out screaming out for a government to do something and to deliver better for you. And we are the last, that's why we're fighting for this, because we are the last best hope, of a defense against, what they're trying to do to the health system. And so when it comes to who you trust in this battle between the all of the NHS staff that are striking and our and this government, this corrupt government, please continue to stand with NHS staff, because we are fighting for you. I promise you. If we wanted to make more money, we would go abroad. I could go back to the States and make 4 times as much, but I want to stay here fighting. And the same is true for a lot of my colleagues. So please continue to support us, continue to put pressure on the government to sit down with our union, to sit down with us and be adults and say, you know what, we don't want anybody on strike because we want to stay working, and put pressure on them to get them to come to the table. It's really, really important. Thanks so much.